First practice for the first race of 2021. With new driver lineups at 70% of the field and half the grid made up of race winners, the fight is set to be more fierce than ever. And with Friday practice sessions reduced from 90 to 60 minutes, everyone now has even less time to decipher whether the lessons learned and the changes made in the week since testing concluded have taken their desired effect. And all eyes were immediately on world champions Mercedes, who'd suffered a troubled pre-season test and declared themselves to be behind their rivals Red Bull on arrival in Sakhir. Taking the highly unusual decision of running soft tyres from their very first laps, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas were immediately back at the top of the times. But Red Bull battled back, and soon enough, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez were right in the mix, all four drivers placing within half a second of each other. With half an hour gone, McLaren was still to show its hand, as both Lando Norris and new signing Daniel Ricciardo had yet to venture out on anything other than the hard tyre. But when they did, they came out strong. Norris straight to the top with his first meaningful flyer of the day, as the first driver to dip into the 1-minute 31s, as Ricciardo slotted into third. With expectations palpable over the tightness of the potential midfield fight, Ferrari and AlphaTauri carried over their impressive testing form to enter the final minutes of the session right at the top of the times, Leclerc getting close to Norris in fifth, with Pierre Gasly an impressive P7. Two-time F1 champion Fernando Alonso returns to the sport with Alpine in 2021, and he, along with teammate Esteban Ocon, spent much of the session trialling aerodynamic developments. Finishing the session in P15 and P16, they won't begin to focus on either race or qualifying performance runs until free practice 2. F1's three rookies for 2021 all had solid sessions, AlphaTauri's Yuki Tsunoda immediately sounding like a Formula 1 driver.
Come on, I got traffic!
While the Haas duo of Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin put in some solid mileage, albeit their best laps being 3 seconds off the ultimate pace. As the minutes counted down, the front-runners came back out for another tilt at the top, and it was Max Verstappen that emerged the strongest, narrowly ahead of Bottas and the McLaren of Lando Norris in P3. Lewis Hamilton slotted into fourth, with Leclerc fifth for Ferrari and Perez sixth for Red Bull. Gasly was well within the top 10 in seventh, ahead of new Ferrari recruit Carlos Sainz. Ricciardo eventually finished ninth, with Antonio Giovinazzi an impressive P10 for Alfa Romeo, whose positive pre-season was also reflected in Kimi Raikkonen's 11th, with the Aston Martins of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll an understated P12 and P13. Tsunoda slotted into 14th, ahead of the aforementioned Alpines, the two Williams of Russell and Latifi, and the Haas F1 cars of Schumacher and Mazepin 19th and 20th. Still many questions, but F1's first leaderboard of 2021 makes for fascinating reading.